Now, I am pretty sure that you are doing at least one or two things from this list when you are at home, because nobody really follows etiquette at home. Or do we? Find out in this video. My dear elegant ladies, welcome back to another video. Ladies, the reason why I do a video where we talk about how you behave at home, etiquette at home. Remember that I've spoken in the past that forget etiquette if you are at home. At this stage, it doesn't matter because etiquette is something we do because of respect to our surroundings and to respect to others. But there is one important thing though. What about the respect towards ourselves? Now, for that reason, home etiquette is actually quite valuable. So I'm not saying that you should be letting yourself go just because you are behind closed doors. Now, number one, are you doing this? Or are you doing this? Two different things, right? Now, why do I care how you drink your water at home? You know what? I don't really care. It's about for yourself. Do you want to drink like a man, like a slob? Or do you want to be a little bit more refined and actually start practicing your elegant manners, even those small little details like how you drink your water by yourself at home when nobody sees you? How do you treat yourself? When we train ourselves in all the things that we do, not only XYZ, but actually the entire alphabet of things, when we do all of that with grace and proper etiquette skills, we actually don't leave much space for sluggish behavior and acting uneducated. It just really helps you to live an overall elegant lifestyle when you just go on autopilot and forget for a second that you are on this journey of refinement. Number two, and this is a pet peeve of mine. And no, this is not a toilet roll meme. I'm actually serious. People who have these running around their home, and if they need, for instance, like a tissue, to blow their nose, they use toilet paper, or if they need a napkin, they use the toilet paper to wipe their mouth when they're eating. This is not okay, and you should never have these anywhere around the house unless it's in the toilet. God bless Kleenex for this reason. So this is a more elegant option, and as you can see, I have the Kleenex box covered, and I suggest you have it too, because having these standing around in the house is not really that elegant either. But I must say, I'm personally not a big fan of having Kleenex boxes, even if they are elegant like this, standing around the house. I think it looks a little bit tacky. However, some cultures, for instance, Middle Eastern cultures, you do have a lot of Kleenex boxes around because it's part of your culture, so that's a totally different story. But I just say that if you really want to step it up a notch, just put them somewhere a little bit more discreet. They don't have to be there standing for show. You will just look a little bit more refined this way. Number three, and again ladies, I don't really care if you do this or not, it's really up to you, and we all do this. I do this as well from time to time, so I'm not saying that this does never happen and oh my god, I'm such an angel. No, but it's about trying to maybe not do this all the time or making a habit out of this. Ladies, I'm talking about eating in front of the TV. I don't think there's anything elegant with that. You're sitting there, you're not really tasting the food. You're not really making the most out of this dinner or lunch or connecting with the people you're with. You are just focusing on the TV and you're, as a result, actually overeating. Not a good thing. When we want to refine ourselves, we actually take a decision that, you know what, I am going to make more effort with my life. I want to live a more high quality life where I step things up a notch. Yes, I will have a sit-down candlelight dinner. It will only cost me a little bit of effort in terms of time, of putting out the candles, the nice porcelain, putting it all on the table and actually sit there properly, relaxed and enjoy a meal. Especially if you don't live by yourself. If you have a partner, if you have a family, have proper sit-down meals. How else are you going to connect in the rest of the day unless you have this little moment together? Number four, and I want you to really be honest with me in the comment section below. Who is still using fake flowers? But ladies, when you compare fake flowers with fresh flowers just really makes you so happy, and it's such a big difference. I mean, surely these two flowers that I'm comparing here, they're totally different in style. But the whole thing that I'm trying to transmit to you is that actually buying fresh flower on a weekly basis really goes a long way. Yes, it might cost you maybe $10, $20, $30 a week extra. For some, you might not be able to afford this right now, but there are actually alternatives. You can buy nice orchids, they last longer. But the whole point is that cut down on the fake flowers. Use the real deal, because this is elegance. This is what refined living, what high quality living is about. Whenever I have fresh flowers next to me, I like to have it next to my desk where I spend a lot of time because I work a lot. And it just really gives me the inspiration and this dose of happiness on so many occasions throughout the day, so that actually the money that I spend on a weekly basis on flowers, it is so worth it. Number 6, don't take this the wrong way, but try not to sit like a total slob when you are by yourself. I think definitely you should relax and be comfortable and, really enjoy yourself when you are behind closed doors. But ladies, you don't have to sit like... people actually do it. You don't have to sit like this all the time when you're home. You don't have to care about the formal way of sitting that I teach my students in my elite finishing school. But ladies, if I'm gonna be comfortable at home, surely I can sit like this, or really relax like this. But there has to be some form of balance to how you kind of hold yourself up when you are being gracious. And I really see this with elite women who are truly refined to the core. Even when you get to know them and you really see their intimate side, you see that they don't behave like, how they have trained themselves to be for the public eye. To some level, they are a bit like that even behind closed doors. Not fully, because everybody relaxes much more behind closed doors. But it's about having that ounce of self-respect so that you always feel proud of yourself and good in your own skin. Number 7, and this is a big pet peeve of mine, so if you ever come to my home, never do this. One of the things that I personally cannot stand is when people shout to each other from one room to another. Let's say you are in a couple, you're in a family, and one person is in the kitchen and the other one is in the living room, and they shout and they communicate with each other by being in total different rooms. Now that is not elegant, and that is not okay. Ladies, have some respect, not only for yourself, but also if you have neighbors. When you shout like that, people hear you. You might have a window open. People will hear you on the street. Your neighbors will hear that. Have some respect. And since we're talking about being loud, let's go to number 8. And this is actually for you dear neighbors, if you have neighbors. Now, I still don't understand those who do not care about loudness when they're being intimate with their partner. I think that unless you are somewhere where nobody can hear you, it's not okay, and it doesn't justify the action. Screaming like a beaten pig just because you are having intimacy doesn't justify it, ladies. Think about it. Think about your neighbors. How do you feel when you walk out of your apartment and have to face them after? Is it really elegant? Surely you have to enjoy yourself, but just try and be a little bit cautious of how loud you enjoy yourself. You can still have a good time without everybody having to listen to it. And by the way, number 8 also applies to if you are fighting, if you are just being loud in general, listening to music, watching TV, and so on. Really respect the noise level of your home. It's just common sense at this point, but actually quite few follow this, so I really had to point it out. Number 9, and for me this goes a long way when it comes to refinement. I'm talking about your house being full of clutter. So ladies, there are 2 types of people. You have the minimalistic ones and you have the ones who like a lot of things around. Of course, the minimalistic ones will always be more elegant than the clutter ones. However, you can still be a little bit, liking to have a lot of things around, but still keeping things nice and tidy. I personally think that the elegance levels just drop down When you have piles of things in your home, let's say now in my background, I will have piles of magazines, I will have things everywhere, random things hanging around. Maybe I will have a toilet roll standing somewhere or empty glasses of water, whatever it can be. Why have them there if they're not serving a purpose, if they're not part of the decoration? The trick of decluttering is to have good organization skills behind closed doors, and that means in your wardrobes, in your cupboards, anywhere where you storage basically. That's where your stuff should be. Every item should have its designated place. We got taught this, I think, in kindergarten. So I don't know what happened to people when they can't even follow such basic rules. But I really think that if you do want to become an elegant woman, having a clutter-free home, I think it's a must. Number 10, and the last one. Sometimes on this channel, we have to talk about uncomfortable topics, even less elegant topics, because how else are we going to learn how to be more sophisticated if we never talk about this? I don't even know how to say. I actually feel a bit uncomfortable. Ladies, if you live with somebody, family member, your partner, it doesn't matter. Think about how you... Who knows what purpose that serves, but seems to have a biological reasons to why we have bubbles coming out of our bodies. But you really have to think about how you release those bubbles, and when, and in front of who, and during what occasion. And no, it doesn't matter how long you have been with your partner and how much you love each other. Releasing those bubbles in front of each other is just never elegant. And I don't think anybody should ever do this. So please, keep them together. If you feel one is coming, it's not that hard to just go to the bathroom, right? You can do it silently. Discreet, even when you are by yourself. I feel like when we start treating ourselves with that type of respect, we really start conditioning ourselves to be kind of everyday elegant, and people start noticing a big difference in us. The whole practice of elegance is just about gaining that self-respect and gaining confidence as a result. In the end of the day, it's really up to you how strict you want to be in your own home. Don't forget, your home is the comfort. It's your own little secret getaway. It's where you retreat to really be comfortable and to relax and to reboot. So yes, you should be yourself. If you are on this transformative journey, then it can be quite good to fine-tune things even in your own comfort zone. If you want to learn more how to become a woman of the elite, visit schoolofaffluence.com. Now ladies, there are more things that you shouldn't be doing in your home, and especially not in your bedroom. Watch this video, 10 things elegant ladies never do in the bedroom. And it's not the naughty stuff.